feel it though. Once in a lifetime, twice in a multiverse. Yeah, you could own the earth, but you gotta be Oprah first. I raise a glass to the milestones, light up a backwood or whatever you do to get your vibe on. High on life.
All right, what's up, everybody? This your main man Theo, and you tuned in to Ride the Beat. And today on the check-in, we have renowned drummer Lawrence Qualls. How you doing today?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
So I see you just released a new album called the Arrhythmia soundtrack. How did you come up with that name?
I used the method from the medical term. Okay, so like to give you a little history, I'm into like a lot of polyrhythm and displacement and rhythm, you know, being a drummer and all of that. So I came up with the concept using the medical term arrhythmia, like, you know, arrhythmia it deals with the heart and how
Right.
the heart beats and things like that, right? So it's the same thing that applies to music. The drummer is the heartbeat of the music, of the band. He's the one that keeps the pulse. You know, if your heart is not, you know, it's a wrap for you, right? But yeah, I just use that concept to create like this whole virtual world with that method, just kind of creating a rhythm and then just interjecting something that has nothing to do with it. And just, you know, just was a theme project. And I was inspired by the gaming world. You know, if you're into games, video games, you know, the music be crazy.
Right.
So I blended those worlds together and I created the Arrhythmia soundtrack.
So is gaming something that you into? Because like I did like what you just said. You know, you was inspired by the gaming world, by the the brands they use for the video games and things like that.
Yeah, I got into it because of the music, and you know,
Okay.
my sons, they're like, man, they have all of the gear, the headset, all of that stuff. They're like totally into it. But what caught my attention was the music, and I was just like, man, like this is some killer music that they have, you know, along with these games. So you know, that inspiration just kind of fired up, you know, my thinking, and you know, just came up with the project.
Cool. That's a real uh, great analogy for the name of the project.
Thank you, man. Just thinking,
So
bro.
what got you into playing drums? I see you started playing at 5 years old. So was you around a lot of musicians, or did you have a lot of musicians in the family?
Yeah, my grandfather was a quartet singer back in the day, and he traveled and he was on Malaco Records, which was an old gospel record label back in, you know, like the 50s and the 60s, and like they were traveling and stuff like that, and so my family just was just musical, from my grandmother all the way down to, you know, to everyone, you know, including the grandkids and me being in the first generation of the grandkids. So I just was around my uncle, Reggie Qualls. He was a professional drummer, traveled, did a lot of amazing things. And that was my person that I admired so much. And I just, you know, from watching him, we didn't really have one-on-one sessions that much, but
Right.
just watching, I just fell in love with it.
So did you learn how to play kind of like by ear,
Yeah, I
just
started
messing
out.
around with it?
Yeah, I started playing by ear, but the funny thing is, like, it was just weird because I could play really good and I didn't really know, and it kind of shocked everybody. You know, it was just like, yo, who's that on the drums? And then it's, you know, they look and it's me. So it was just like it was a total gift given. Um, just like an out of body experience. Like I just once I sat down, I just felt like it was where I was supposed to be, and it just came to me. And that's, you know, the God honest truth. Just it just came to me.
Yeah. So did you learn how to play other instruments as well?
Yeah, I mean, eventually as I, you know, progressed with the drums, I started with the keys, and you know, learning how to play melodies and learning how to play chords and put chords together. And then I transitioned into playing the bass. So that way I can, you got the bass keys and the drums, you got your formula for, any.
Right.
So once I got that concept, I mean, once I understood the keys, and then the bass was just second nature. And being around a big brother of mine, Josh David, he, a phenomenal bassist, guitarist, lead singer. Um, Being around him and soaking up, again, just watching and applying it to, production and stuff like that.
The Q music group, which you said was like a way to help outsource music production for record labels, independent artists, provide quality live instrument production. So I thought, looking at that, that's, real unique. So did you see that like there was a need in the industry for not so much sampling and to use like live music?
Yeah, I felt like the live instrumentation need to come back in the production. And I mean, there's a hint of it that's happening, but I feel like it's slowly coming back. But I was just full, just head over heels about it. Like, this is what needs to be, this is the root of everything.
Right.
Um, it just sounds better, and it
Yes.
just, the way it make the vibrations you get from live music is just unmatched. So, I'm total a big advocate for live music. And being able to provide that for, newer, artists and record labels and independent artists, and just, just being that source, because it's you got cats that's doing it, but not doing it at the level of, records, like just
Right.
like, quality. Um, so yeah, I just was like, what's up?
So
Let's
what?
go. I'm ready to work,
Yeah, I think that's good because I see at least Roddy Rich, he uses, you know, live bands, different things like that, and it just sounds so good.
Yeah, and man, before this whole COVID, like if you were to catch one of their live shows, it's crazy. The band is nuts. And what I like about the band, they play the song just like the record. It's not
Yeah,
like it's not too much music to where you lost in it. It's
right.
just enough, and that's just quality. So, much respect to those guys.
So what got you, I know you just maybe just being around the music, but started getting into producing.
Um, Around high school, just being inspired, from being inspired by, D Block and, um, Harlem Diplomats, Cameron and them, and just
Right.
being inspired by the hip hop. And of course, I was always inspired by, the classic, the good, the original stuff, like the Tribe Called Quest and, the Mobb Deep and, what I'm saying, all of that stuff. So I was just like, yo, I wanna, do beats. That was just my thing.
So have you um so far as you're producing and things like that, have you been reaching out to other artists, with the coronavirus and everything going on? People are more stationary kind of right now. Have you been reaching out, networking more?
Yeah, it's everyone is accessible now in a sense, so it's like I've been reaching out and just mainly just encouraging, not so much as, yeah, I want to collaborate, right? But just
Right.
mainly more so just encouraging everyone. Um, because, us being the creators, we every day our lives is based on creating and, providing, for our family through the gift that we have. So for that to completely stop, you know, you have to make sure we're okay first. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
make sure everyone is mentally in a good space, spiritually in a good space. And yeah, I've been reaching out. I've even helped some people financially. So we all in this together. So anyway, I can help. What I mean, that's what it's about.
So Are you originally from New Jersey?
Yeah, born and raised in New Jersey, and then as I got into my teen years, I really grew up in New York and got into the culture out there, and you know just just back and forth from Jersey to New York, Jersey to New York.
So how did you kind of get your career to pop? You know, I know that's in the industry, it's a tough place to make it in, but how did you know the right people, or just out there in the scene, and someone just liked you?
Yeah, I was playing drums in like the clubs and stuff in like Manhattan in the Village and stuff like that.
Okay.
I was like a weekly. I was every night. I would be somewhere different, somewhere. Just trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
really, spending that money to get from Jersey to New York, or to just staying in New York so I can do 2 or 3 gigs, to make this, money. Um, just really grinding the scene, working the scene, and then I met a friend. Um, I was playing at a place in Manhattan called Wicked Willie's, and I met a friend. His name is Blake Hanley, and he saw something in me. At the time, he was working out in L.A. Um, and he saw something in me, and he was like, "Man, I'm working on this, and I'm working on an album, and I'm in this competition, this Battle of the Bands competition. I want to work with you." And at the time, I was playing with a reggae band. So it was like the style of music, it was just peculiar that you would find someone that would,
Right.
um, yeah, but he saw something in me, man. And, he was the first person to give me a flight, to LA. It
Yeah.
just was history after that.
Awesome, man. Great story.
Thank you.
So a lot of people kind of stick in one lane or one genre. I know you do different things, so collaborating or making music with different genres, does that open more doors for you?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It shows your versatility. It shows your knowledge of just American music.
Right.
American music is very diverse. So, in order to be a figure in this, I think you have to be, well schooled and educated. Um, I get calls for sessions because I can execute, 70 styles of drums, or 80 style, or I can go back to the 50s and play bebop, and so different things of that. So when you become a person of that value, and or I can get a call to play some reggae, or some
Yeah.
dance, or some compa, or some, Afro beat. So it's like just being versatile. You can just spread your name all around the world.
Do you pick and choose who you work with, or are you open to work with
I'm
anybody?
open because I feel like there's greatness in all of us, and I think you just need the right person with the right spirit to bring it out of you, and
Mhm.
encourage you. You don't know what you can create in the right vibe. Um, I never get caught up in that. I work with anybody because we all talented. We all have something to contribute. So
So when you're out and about, say you just out with the family, or you just hanging out, and you catch a tune, or you catch that feel something in your head, how do you go about, remembering that for later?
Oh man, it's like it's like photographic memory. It's just like it's there. Like once I hear the melody and stuff, like it's a wrap. You know, um, I'm big on melody. I'm big on melody, and I'm heavy on. I love bass lines. So like if those two things match up in a tune, yeah, I'm gonna remember it.
So I see you work with Eric Hudson on the Mariah Carey single Infinity. So
Uh,
how did that project come about?
so Eric is a longtime friend from New Jersey, And Eric is an amazing producer. He's a multi-instrumentalist, just like I am. Just an incredible, like, just, you know, can get on the keys and play some amazing things, get on the bass, play some amazing things, get on the drums. So we just was always cool. We was always friends. We, you know, we like to dress. So we was always like, yo, you fly, you fly. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
we created that bond. And as I was out here working with my friend Blake, we had a situation where was gonna potentially get signed to Universal. So I was out in LA, and you know, Eric was out in LA as well, but we never connected because everybody was, you know, just busy. And yeah, we hung out one night, and it was just like, yo, you here working, I'm here working, yo, we need to work together. And it just like time. And you know, we started cooking up, and we, you know, got in the studio, started working on different ideas and stuff like that. And that one was like a blessing. It came through, and he gave me that opportunity, and I was just like grateful for it. It took me to the next level in my career for sure as a drummer. That solidified me as you know what I mean? Because it's like I did a ton of tours and stuff, but that was the next level from that particular thing. And yeah, he was just a great friend and looked out for me.
So being on that project, did that open up more doors for you? You know, you can kind of piggyback on that or put that on your resume?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, a lot more calls for recording sessions came in. Yeah, it opened up a lot of different doors, and it shined a light on me, you know, because, you know, I was always a really good session player. But just, you know, when there's so many talented people, you know what I mean? Sometimes you can get lost
Lost in the shuffle.
it's so many great guys. Like everyone is just, you know, really good at their craft. But that bumped me a head further, because of the caliber of project it was, the caliber of artist it was. And man, I'm grateful for it. It really opened up a lot of doors. And you know, those checks still coming on in. So we did a good job.
Hey, so being that you are a drummer, producer, love the live performance, how has the coronavirus affected you or affected business?
Oh man, it's been devastating, because as artists we thrive to be on the stage. Like, there's no better feeling than to be on a stage and to have people interacting with you and your music and performing for people, you know, really feeling their energy and people having a good time. And you know, you creating an amazing night for people, for that couple that's coming out that haven't been out in 6 months. Like those moments, you know what I mean? You can't buy those moments, man. So it's like, for that to be taken away, it's devastating. It's devastating to the culture. It's devastating to, you know, just live music and all of the musicians that make a living from gigging every night.
Right.
You know, I was one of those guys. You know, I was one of, you know, and I'm still one of them guys. I still, you know what I mean? I don't, I still pack up my drums and go play for somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's for the love of it, man. Like for what that whole thing, for what it did for us and how it kept us out of trouble. And, you know, live music is just, is amazing, and it should never be taken away. And, you know, to hear about all the people that lost their lives to this, it's just like, that's even more heartbreaking than anything.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so it's just a difficult time, but man, I just been trying to stay prayed up, man. And just, you know, I'm sure at some point, you know, we're going to come back to some sort of normalcy, but it's just like, it's tough, man, especially the summertime. Like we all used to being at festivals and, you know,
for sure. Yeah.
around the world and meeting amazing people. And I probably would have ran into you at something, you know? So it's just, it's horrible, but we're going to get through it.
So how do you feel social media has influenced the music industry?
Um, that's a great question. I think it has influenced it in a good way and a bad way too. The good way is being accessible to people that you wouldn't normally have access to, and coming across and learning about producers that worked on stuff that you never knew that they worked. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a great place to. I mean, the networking is phenomenal, right? But in my opinion, the bad part is where artists feels like they need the numbers to validate their art,
Right.
when art should be just accepted as art because it's art, but we get wrapped up in the numbers and the little blue check, and all don't matter. And I mean, the record labels have, they looking at that stuff too. So it's like it it's good and bad.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it. But I just feel like create your art and put it out. Don't let those things, because those things can hold back, some amazing art, and we'll be, you know, we'll be, less. We won't be able to experience, brilliant creators because of those things.
True.
Because they're scared to put out content because of how many likes it's gonna get, how many comments.
Yeah. Comments and things like that. Yeah.
You can be sitting on something that's amazing, So
So this, I got a two-part question for you. So what advice would you give an up and coming musician or artist, trying to get into the music industry? And what's the best advice you've been given?
um the best advice I can give is to study the industry. Study, just learn your craft to the point where you're just flawless when it comes time to actually perform. Whether it's in the studio, whether you're recording, about to do a single, about, just study your craft to the point where you're just efficient, super efficient. And also study the business aspect of it too. Like, know what you're entitled to, and know the terminology of the business.
Right.
Those two things go hand in hand. Because once you know the business and you're ready, you won. Um, the best advice I was given was to be ready. Simple.
Yeah.
Was, just to be ready, and meaning that, you know, and what I mean by study, study those hit records, study those writers, study those producers that's created a heap of hit records that we all know and love. Like, study all of your top 40 catalog from 1950 to now. Study those things because those things are going to help you.
So basically you need to be a student of the game, basically.
You always remain a student, because when you're teachable and you can sit and learn, then you're just going to have an advantage over everyone.
So what has your outlook on the industry been from this standpoint? A lot of artists now, musicians, you hear them talk a lot about being independent versus being on labels and things like that. But I think both has its pros and cons. It's just, kind of how you come at it.
Mhm. Definitely. Um, you know, it's a very touchy subject. Um, I just think that the structure of record labels is just something that's been built over time, and it's built to, you know, send you to a certain place when you go through that system. Um, from the connections, the marketing, and you know, just so on and so forth. All of the tools that you need to be a skyrocket artist. You know,
Hmm.
they've built that. They've developed those relationships, and it's hard to kind of compete with that in a sense,
Right.
right?
Yeah, totally get that.
Like it's hard to kind of compete with that. Now, from an independent perspective, I mean, the beauty of owning your stuff and the beauty of, um, you know, creating and releasing whenever you want to, you know, it's all great, right? But it's a grind. It's a serious grind,
Yeah.
and I respect anybody that, you know, that's up for the challenge. And it's just, it comes down to the choice that what you feel is good for you.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
it really comes down to, you know, your choice. Me myself, yes, I'm independent now. Would I get a record deal if it was presented to me? Yes, I would, because, you know, if you do, you know, if you do your business right, and if you know the business, and if you had time to sit and study, then you know how to maneuver in that particular business
Right.
situation.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like it's just a game of chance. It's just, you know, it's like taking that $2,000 to Vegas and hoping that you come back with 22,000. You know what I mean? Like it's a game of chance.
Yeah. The way I kind of look at it is, you know, you can kind of use the labels to build your portfolio, to market you, build your name, and then once that deal is over with, then go see how, you know, you do on your own. You
Yeah,
know.
I mean, and first you got to make enough money to pay them back.
Exactly.
So once, you know, once they put those marketing dollars into you, because that's really what it is. Like you know, it's really the marketing money that goes into you. That's like, you know, ridiculous, and another cost, right? So it's like if you position yourself to where you already know, like, okay, the money that comes in from all of this, that I'm giving it right back. You know what I mean? If you have that mentality and you build, you know, your situation to a certain height, you can make a smooth transition and do your own thing. You know, there's artists that have done it. So it's just really in you and how you understand the business and how you understand, again, the game of chance. If you understand it, then you know how to move.
So how hard is it to get a producer placement?
Oh man, it's it's hard, bro. And I say that because it's like there's a handful of producers and then there's a million beat makers. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's like where when, I consider myself a producer because I play multiple instruments and I can also produce what I create.
Right.
So um wherein I'm thinking of ideas for a bass line and guitar riffs, it's like this dude could come and just drag some stuff in and just make something that's crazy, you know? So it's a thing, man. It's a thing.
So what's up next for you? You know, what do you have going on next?
Oh man, I'm releasing my full album. It's called The Adventures of Boogaloo the God. It's a hip hop album. 16 tracks is gonna be released on Christmas of 2020. And I'm working on that, and I'm working on some like snippet tracks for a cartoon and a film as well,
Cool.
and just working with some different artists around here in LA, and just kind of, uh, of like you said, like doing the COVID collaboration and just linking with different
Yeah.
people. But yeah, man, just like, my interest now is just like TV and cartoon and film, just getting music into that and getting into that world.
So how's the life in LA versus New York?
Man, I mean New York, you can stay out all night. You can go hear band play at 4 o'clock in the morning. LA, you gotta kinda know what's happening, in order to get in that world.
Yeah.
Um, but in LA, I'm more of a homebody, man. I'm more of a go to the studio and back home. I kind of keep it focused because you can get caught up in the Hollywood hype very quickly, right? So I just I have my years of that getting caught up in the Hollywood life, and now I'm just like studio and home, just the focus.
So is LA home now?
Yeah, LA is home. Although I still go back and forth. My children is back in Jersey, so I still go back and forth and do the family thing. But yeah, like when I'm working, I'm here in LA.
So is there more like networking going on, or that just where you kind of ended up in the
Yeah,
industry?
it's the network, and it's not a fight to get in certain rooms because of the resume I have.
Right,
Um,
right.
Plus, it's like it's hard to go to a city where you kind of you got the credits under your name, but it's like it's like a click thing. If you're not cool with certain people, you can't really get on stuff and get in certain sessions like that. Um, so I just kind of stay where it flow for me. I'm not trying to compete and I'm not trying to fight over getting on projects and stuff like that. I just stay where it flow for me. And I've been expanding. I've been, I've done some stuff in Miami, and starting to make a little noise in Atlanta. So, I'm trying to spread it. I'm trying to spread it around.
Yeah, yeah, you're spreading the love.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So I know you've put out an EP before. So the difference between EP and a full album is a EP more for marketing.
Yeah, and honestly, all of those projects that I released was to, identify to be identified as a producer or solidified as a producer. Because a
Okay.
lot of times when you're in production crews, it's like people don't know what you can do because you kind of in the shadow of the crew you in. So me creating all of this content was just me stepping out to create my own identity. But to answer your question, the EPs are definitely just like teasers to market and just show where your thoughts are, and just to kind of keep your listener interested in your vast you know um choices of music
Right.
and what you choose to create.
Well, man, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you probably super busy, but
Oh
taking the
man,
time to,
thank you guys for allowing me to come on your platform. It means a lot, and I hope we can do it again.
oh man, thank you. Well, definitely appreciate you taking the time to come on here. And before we get out of here, go ahead and, shout out all your social media avenues so that people can, check you out and things like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm mainly just doing Instagram right now. So it's Instagram is at Boogaloo the God, aka Lawrence Qualls, or at Lawrence Qualls on Instagram. And also I got a drum pack that's coming out soon. I created a sample pack for beat makers and producer.
Nice.
It's like there's like no like drums, real hip hop golden era drum samples out there. Um, and I just wanted to create something for us, the
Yeah,
real
for sure.
original hip hop heads, with the real drums, with the real trashy and just dope drums. So that's coming soon. it's still in the development stages, and we're gonna be doing some testing soon. Sending like some demo packs out to different producers to check it out. Maybe I'll send you something so you can check it out. You know, yeah, man. Just hit me up. I got the Lawrence Qualls YouTube page, and yeah, just check me out. Lawrence Qualls, everything.
So maybe we can get you back in December, after you drop that album.
Oh, definitely, man. Let's do it.
Well, I wish you much success, man, and thank you for taking the time once again, and have a great rest of your night, bro.
Oh man, thank you too, and blessings to you and your family, man. And I appreciate the opportunity for coming on your platform, and looking forward to the next one.
All right. Thank you, bro.
Much blessings.
For the love, for the best and the worst times. One time for the first time. One